and today was topic 4, lesson 4. And the objective, what we're trying to do, is have you guys write math stories for given multiplication facts. This was just some of our slate practice. So our focus, students will write math stories for given multiplication facts. The vocabulary words that we went over today include factors and product. And a factor is numbers that we multiply together. So we would say 9 and 8 are factors. And the product is just the answer in a multiplication problem. Therefore, the product here would be 72. So, you've solved many types of word problems. Today you will learn to determine if an answer makes sense based on the information provided and we're going to do this using word problems. So, informal story problems are created every day, meaning that different stories pop up even if it's just in our minds, but they do happen in everyday life. So, for example, if you and a friend bake muffins for a bake sale, you might say the following to find the total number of muffins you baked. Let's just make this a different color just so you can see it a little better. It says, Kara and I baked 6 muffins per tin. We baked 4 tins. How many muffins did we bake in all? So different problems like this might occur in everyday life, and we want to make sure that we're able to solve them. So our problem of the day was this. How can you write a multiplication story about 4 times 5? And all the kiddos worked in pairs to write and solve a story problem. So we wanted to see how you guys would do with this so that then we would be able to tell you about some things we might need to add when it comes to writing a multiplication story. So, something we worked on that multiplication number stories need to have is that it needs to tell how many groups there are, how many are in each group, and then it asks a question at the end. So, we might say something like, let's see, how many groups? So there were 3 pencil boxes. So that's telling us how many groups. And maybe that would look something like this. 3 groups. And then we need to tell how many are in each group. So let's just say there were 2 in each group. Then we would ask a question at the end. How many were there in all? So what we would do, we would say 3 groups times 2 in each group equals a total of 6. So what we're doing is taking these elements and putting them together so that we can create our own number stories so that when we go to solve another number story, it'll be a little bit easier for us. One of the things we're going to work on tomorrow, we're going to work on guided practice, which is usually just the problems that we do together. And some of the things we'll do together as a group says write a multiplication story for each problem. Draw a picture or use objects to find each product. So we want to think back to this, our number stories, what they include. So tell how many groups there are, tell how many are in each group, and then ask at the end to find the total. So what we can do, I'm going to do this right now just to show you what it would look like on this paper where we set up some of our original ideas. We want to tell how many groups there are. There are 4 boxes. So we're saying how many groups there are. Next, we want to tell how many are in each group. There are 3 juice boxes in each box. So by doing that, we've already done step 1 and step 2. Now what we need to do is ask a question. How many juice boxes are there? We could just say how many juice boxes are there, and that addresses how we ask a question at the end. So maybe you could practice writing your own multiplication number story. However, we want to make sure that we do not accidentally do addition by adding numbers together. We want to talk about groups and how many in each group, and that will give us a multiplication problem.